Cinderella's Sister and the Big Bad Wolf by Lorraine Carey and Miggy Blanco. There she is. Look how kind she looks. Is she supposed to be this kind? We'll see. Here is Cinderella. Here is her stepmother, Mrs. Ugly. Here are the ugly sisters, 1, 2, and 3. You already know the 2 ugly sisters, who were horrid, nasty, and mean, but Gertie, their little sister, was nice. While Cinderella lazed about and did absolutely nothing, Gertie watered the pumpkins, took care of the mice, and did all of the housework. Niceness shone from Gertie's face, and her smile was brighter than the sunshine. Well, of course, the ugly family despaired. They were ashamed. They hid little Gertie away, and they never let her go anywhere with them. Then, one morning, a special invitation arrived. There she is, hiding at the top there, can you see? Cinderella, sister 1, ugly sister 2. Oh, look, said Mrs. Ugly. We are invited to a grand ball at the palace tonight. A ball? Cried Bertie. Oh, please, can I go? You, said Mrs. Ugly, go to the ball? Who'd believe that you're an ugly sister? You don't walk ugly, you don't talk ugly, and with that shocking smile on your face, you don't even look ugly. But I am an ugly sister, Gertie begged, and I can be bad. I know I can. Well, okay, said Mrs. Ugly, but you'll need lessons. A visit to the wicked queen, that should do the trick. So, that afternoon, Gertie was sent to the wicked queen, who was just about to visit Snow White with a poisoned apple. The wicked queen dressed up as a little old lady. Hello, my dear, she said to Snow White. Won't you take a bite of this lovely apple? But Gertie couldn't bear to watch. Look out, Snow White, she shouted. That's the wicked queen, and the apple is poisoned. No thanks then, said Snow White, and she shut the door. Well, the wicked queen was furious, and she sent Gertie home faster than a streak of lightning. Back home, Mrs. Ugly was very angry, but Gertie begged for another chance to be mean and bad. Oh, all right, said Mrs. Ugly, but this time you are going to see the worst witch of all. Being bad is easy, said the worst witch. Let me show you how. Hansel, Gretel, come in. The oven is nice and hot, and I'm planning a delicious dinner. Gertie tried hard to be bad. Really, she did. But she just couldn't keep quiet. Don't come in, she blurted out. That delicious dinner is you! Oh, in that case, we'll be off, said Hansel and Gretel. We'll just take some snacks with us. By tea time, Gertie was back home again, but now Mrs. Ugly was furious. Oh, please, Gertie wailed. Please let me go to the ball. I can be mean and bad. I know I can. And she cried so much that in the end, Mrs. Ugly agreed to give her one last chance. But this time, Gertie was sent to the meanest and nastiest baddie of all. Who do you think it is? The wolf. and the wolf was wearing a frock.
"So, you want to be ugly, huh?" said the wolf. "You want to be bad?"
"Oh, I do," said Gertie. "I do."
"Well," said the wolf, "you're just in time. Watch this space." Suddenly, there was a knock, knock, knock on the door.
Can you all make a knock on the door? And Little Red Riding Hood skipped in. "Oh, Grandma," said Little Red Riding Hood, "what big eyes you've got!"
"All the better to see you with,"
said the wolf. "Oh, Grandma," said Little Red Riding Hood, "what big ears you've got!"
"All the better to hear you with,"
said the wolf. "Oh, Grandma," said Little Red Riding Hood, "what big teeth you have!" "Stop!" Gertie shouted. "That's not your grandma, that's the wolf!" And Little Red Riding Hood scarpered. The wolf turned to Gertie and roared. "Please don't eat me," said Gertie. "I've tried so hard to be mean and bad. I only wanted to go to the ball and—" "Ball?
"Ball?"
said the wolf.
"Did you just say ball?" "Oh, I have always wanted to go to a ball."
"Come on," said Gertie. "Let's see what we can do." But by the time Gertie and the wolf arrived home, Mrs. Ugly and the two ugly sisters had already left for the ball. All was quiet. "We're too late," cried Gertie. "When who should appear but a beautiful fairy?" "I am your fairy godmother," said the fairy. She looked at Gertie and the wolf. "And I expect you two want to go to the ball, don't you?"
"Stop!" cried an angry voice. "Step away from that wand right now."
It was Cinderella. And if anyone had been mean and bad, it was her. "What about me?" she screeched. "I've been waiting all night for a fairy godmother. And who is that wolf in the ridiculous dress?" "Well, fairy godmothers do not like bad manners. How dare you be so rude?" she said. And she quickly turned Cinderella into a mouse. But Gertie and the wolf went to the ball in a beautiful new dress. And a lovely time they had too. So lovely, in fact, that Gertie and Prince Charming fell in love and were married soon after. Oh, what wonderful news. As for Mrs. Ugly and Gertie's two ugly sisters, well, no one quite knows why, but they were never ever seen again. The end.